The doctor is in. Today it's pediatrician Dr. Courtney Sauls from Ascension Saint John Pediatric and Adolescent Medicine. With winter weather and temperatures here, we're talking about ways to make sure your kids stay safe in the cold.
Yeah.
Dr. Sauls, unfortunately, no snow yesterday or today, but it's still important to keep the kids safe in the cold.
Yeah, I was preparing this, anticipating we'd have a lot to talk about today, but definitely applicable for the rest of the winter. So earmark this little message for your kiddos. So kids are going to be more susceptible to getting cold. Their bodies are smaller, but they have more surface area, so they lose that heat so easy. So I have a couple of tips for parents to keep their kids safe and warm at home, and also prevent a couple of things like hypothermia and frostbite. So one of your biggest things are going to be making sure that they have their layers of clothing on. So several smaller layers so they can fit in their car seats. Don't wear those coats in the car seat. Make sure that those straps fit on well, but they can wear their coat as a lap blanket or have a blanket already prepared in your car. You're going to want to wear your gloves and your hats and your thick socks and your thick boots. And make sure, a big rule of thumb as a parent, to dress your child in one more layer than you would as an adult, because your kids are going to get colder easier.
Okay. So I guess, how important is, what kind of are the dangers if kids are getting too cold out playing?
Yeah, since they get colder faster, they can be more susceptible to things like hypothermia or frostbite. So hypothermia is when the temperature of the body is too low. So some serious signs of that are going to be if your child is really sleepy and lethargic, they're shivering unstoppable, and they're also maybe slurring their speech or acting kind of off. Those are going to be some big signs of hypothermia, and a temperature below 96 degrees Fahrenheit is what you're going to look out for as a parent. If you see all of those signs that they're not acting right, even despite warming them up, you're going to want to call 911. That can be really serious. And then frostbite is another thing to look out for. Frostbite is where you get too cold of small parts of your body. So your fingers, your toes, your nose, your ears, those are going to be your biggest areas affected, and where they feel burning and painful tingling, and often turn a different color like pale or gray, and lose sensation. So those are your big things to look out for.
How much more important is it for a kid to be bundled up? Because, maybe kids don't want to wear all the big snowsuit, all the layers, but it's probably more dangerous for a child than it is for me to go out there and play in the snow without gloves on, I guess.
Exactly. It's much more dangerous for children. So sometimes that can be a battle for parents. So try to make it fun. Make a little game out of having them dress up in their winter coats or their fun layers. Have them pick out their favorite sweater, or have some cute hats or gloves that might be fun for them to wear. And you're going to minimize the amount of time that they spend out in the cold weather, especially whenever it's snowing, because they can get colder faster. So maybe 10-20 minutes is a good gauge. Don't let them play out too long without coming in, warming up, maybe drinking some hot cocoa.
Is it sometimes better at a certain temperature just to say, hey, stay inside?
Yeah, if you're in your low teens, that's going to be really cold. If it's about freezing and they want to have fun in the snow, that's totally fine. But if it's those really cold teens getting close to zero, that's going to be really cold. And so us in Oklahoma, we're not quite used to that. So you're
Nope.
going to really bundle up really well.
No, well, you can't hold the kids back from the snow forever. So,
True.
Dr. Sauls, thank you so much for being here today.